Hello and welcome to Finot English, your quick dive into today's top world news. I'm Sawira and here are the headlines making waves around the globe. Headlines first. CIA director says Iran's nuclear sites severely damaged. Gaza mediators intensifying ceasefire efforts, Hamas official says, and Al Jazeera reported that Israel kills more than 90 in Gaza as 3 killed in attack by Israeli settlers. Young man suspected to work for Iran intelligence arrested in Israel, report. The head of the CIA has said U.S. strikes severely damaged Iran's nuclear facilities and set them back years, diverging from a leaked intelligence report that angered President Donald Trump by downplaying the raid's impact. John Ratcliffe, the U.S. spy agency's director, said key sites had been destroyed, though he stopped short of declaring that Iran's nuclear program had been eliminated outright. It comes a day after a leaked preliminary assessment from a Pentagon intelligence agency suggested core components of Iran's nuclear program remained intact after the U.S. bombings. The Republican president took to social media on Wednesday to post that the fake news media had lied and totally misrepresented the facts, none of which they had. He said U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth and other military officials would hold an interesting and irrefutable news conference on Thursday at the Pentagon in order to fight for the dignity of our great American pilots. It came as Israel and Iran seemed for a second day to be honoring a fragile ceasefire that Trump helped negotiate this week on the 12th day of the war. Speaking at The Hague, where he attended a NATO summit on Wednesday, Trump said of the strikes, "It was very severe. It was obliteration." He also said he would probably seek a commitment from Iran to end its nuclear ambitions at talks next week. Iran has not acknowledged any such negotiations. But U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff told U.S. network NBC there has been direct and indirect communication between the countries. The statement from Ratcliffe, who was appointed by Trump, said the CIA's information included new intelligence from an historically reliable and accurate source/method that several key Iranian nuclear facilities were destroyed and would have to be rebuilt over the course of years. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has also come out in support of Trump's assessment on the damage to Iranian nuclear facilities. If the Iranians chose to rebuild, they would have to rebuild all 3 facilities, Natanz, Fordo, Esfahan, entirely, which would likely take years to do, she wrote on X. The U.S. operation involved 125 military aircraft targeting the 3 main Iranian nuclear facilities on Saturday. New satellite images show 6 craters clustered around 2 entry points at Fordo with similar craters spotted at Isfahan, but it is unclear if the nuclear facilities located deep underground were wiped out. A report from the Pentagon's Defense Intelligence Agency was leaked to U.S. media on Tuesday, estimating that the U.S. bombing had set back Iran's nuclear program only a few months. The U.S. Defense Secretary said that assessment was made with low confidence. Officials familiar with the 14 more people were killed this morning in Israeli attacks on Gaza, hospital sources tell Al Jazeera Arabic, bringing the death toll in the enclave to more than 90 over the past 24 hours. At least 3 Palestinians were killed and several injured in an attack by Israeli settlers on Kafr Malik, northeast of Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. President Donald Trump says U.S. and Iranian officials will talk next week as the Israel-Iran ceasefire continues to hold. Iran's health ministry says at least 627 people were killed and more than 4,870 injured during Israel's 12 days of attacks on the country. At least 28 people were killed in Iranian strikes on Israel. Israel's war on Gaza has killed at least 56,156 people and wounded 132,239, according to Gaza's health ministry. An estimated 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the October 7th attacks, and more than 200 were taken captive. A 22-year-old student from Deir al-Assad in northern Israel will be indicted for carrying out missions on behalf of Iran, Haaretz reported, citing the police and the country's Shin Bet security service. Bashar Hassan Qasem Musa was arrested earlier this month due to suspicion of him working for Iranian intelligence after he placed road spikes on a central axis in Be'er-Sheva, southern Israel, and attempted to harm a public figure, the Israeli outlet reported.